Hey community of awesome, I'm Gabe and this is Bookish Pixie. So before I get started, I actually have a quick thing I want to talk about first. The long and short of it is I'm saving for top surgery and I could use some help. If you don't know what top surgery is, I welcome you to use the internet and find out. I'm not really going to be answering questions about it or anything to do with my medical stuff, but this is something that I do need a little community support with, so I'm mentioning it anyway. I have a GoFundMe I'm running and I'll link to that below, and if you could share it or donate, that would be really awesome and I'd super appreciate it. So okay, cool, that out of the way, I do have a question that I'm answering today, so let's get right to it. This week I will finish school, so I'll finally have time to finish a book I started a couple months ago. I'm really excited to keep working on it, but I'm also afraid that after all this hard work, if it even gets published, it will fall into this great abyss with books because there are so many books already. How do I lose this fear? I think this is a great question, and it's also one where I'm gonna have to get real. So what this person is describing, in which you publish a book and then it just kind of disappears, is something that happens to a great many authors, to be honest, and I consider myself included. And honestly, I think this happens to most authors with at least one book, and I would even say all authors who don't get like J.K. Rowling type big. Because the fact of the matter is, there are hundreds, if not thousands of books that are published every year. But here's the thing. You can't control how your book is going to be received. You also can't control the amount of marketing that your publisher puts into your book, which isn't necessarily going to be a guarantee one way or the other that people are going to pay attention to your book, but it certainly helps. But here's the thing, even in cases when you release a book and it seems like nobody cares, you're still going to find readers. And I can say that from personal experience because I published with a smaller publisher who, by the time I got to the end of my trilogy, didn't have the marketing funds to put into my book as may have been ideal. And you know, that's okay. It wasn't the end of the world. It was a little disappointing to see my books becoming less popular over time, but like, that's just a thing that happens sometimes, and you have to be okay with that possibility. And I can say that even with all that, I still got some really cool responses from readers, and I still hear from readers who are just discovering my books for the first time, and that's pretty cool. Ultimately, people are reading my books. Maybe it's not like, 100,000 people, but people are reading my books. And even if, your book doesn't make a big splash, so what? You published a book. That's not something everyone can say. I am really proud of having published a trilogy. That was a major career goal for me, and I did it, and I'm proud as hell about it. I think the most constructive way to respond to publishing a book that isn't as big or splashy as you wanted is to focus on what you can control, and that's the next book. And look, whether you sell a whole bunch of books or not, I can promise you, you're going to find readers who love your book, and that's going to feel amazing. So look, long story short, don't worry about how many books you may sell or how popular your book is going to be. Focus on what you can control, and that is writing the book and finishing the story and moving on to the next step. So that's what I got for today. If you liked what you saw, don't forget to subscribe and comment, and I'll see you soon.